Since we have heard the relationship between food and disease, could you then tell us what is disease?
Sure. That should have been the question to ask when we first went to see the physician or the healer. What is disease? We want to know what is disease, because if we do not know the causes of disease, then it would be impossible for us to zero in on a meaningful cure or any cure at all. What is disease? The doctors never told us, but we kept going back to them. Now the question is asked to the Usha Institute. The question should have been answered by the anthropologists and the archaeologists. Why wait for the healer to come? Because if we are diseased and we are unaware as to the cause of our disease, then whatever comes after that means absolutely nothing, because our bodies are sick. Disease is when you have ingested a substance that was uncomplimentary with your genetic structure. As for the black man, his is mucus. Disease is the cause of, mucus is the cause of all disease. This was the question posed to me in court, that why were we making these claims and why were we so successful, and what was going on? Is that disease was never identified to us. If it was identified, then the question would not be asked now, and then we all of us that are sick would be enjoying health. Well, disease is the accumulation of mucus, breaking down the mucous membrane, and that mucus covering groups of cells in your body. Like, for instance, we have the mucous membrane in the body to protect us from the onslaught of aerobic bacteria, as they are called. But this mucous membrane is for protection. But now we eat acid foods, and the acid food breaks down the mucous membrane and does cause it to flow with the blood, covering other groups of cells now. Groups of cells that belongs to organs, depriving them of oxygen. If the mucus goes to your nostrils, they call it sinusitis. If the mucus goes to your bronchial tubes, it's bronchitis. If the mucus goes to the lungs, it's pneumonia. So we have three different diseases caused by what? Mucus. So what about when the mucus goes to the prostate glands? It's prostatitis. What about when the mucus goes to the uterus of the woman? That's endometriosis, or vaginal discharge, or yeast infection. So we have this mucus situation now that is caused by an inadequate diet. Mucus is the underlying cause for all disease. And this is where we specialize at the Usha Research Institute in making those compounds to aid the body to remove the mucus from itself.
Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, or Kakadash, Yahweh being the true name for the Father, Yahushai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God and Jesus Christ. We give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, taught you truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopefully, precious truth, no honesty, sincerity. But yeah, what's up? Canolus, the spirit power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. This lesson is going into wisdom and some edification with the herbs and healing. Right now, it's a spiritual kick right now that all brothers have been doing to improve their health. Brothers are going on different fasts, exercising, intermittent fasts, walking, things like that to get their bodies on point. And it's a spirit to do that because we're approaching the time of Jacob's trouble, and you're going to need to be as fit as possible, and knowledgeable as possible on how to take care of yourself and get into the herbs and things like that. Basically it's just the Lord's just making us more, more refined, that we're more refined gold to be ultimate the prize in the days to come. Not only will people know that we had it right the whole time, prophetic wise, and come to seeking us for answers, but when they see us, when they see us, it's going to be evident that the Lord is taking care of us and the Lord has our back. So he's doing that right now with brothers, doing all sorts of things for healing. So this lesson for me to put out is going into something that I've been doing or gotten into, and I encourage brothers to research it for themselves as well. And that goes into doing an alkaline vegan fast. Okay. And I'm going to share my testimony of taking a certain flour that I consumed last week or week before last, and it basically completely detoxed my body and purged my system of mucus. All right, I did a video about the flour. I'm gonna bring it up here. Okay, here's the flour here, and the video is on my other channel, GMS Spiritual Warfare 3, and it's titled "Check Out This Powerful Herb." So I'll leave the link to that in the description box, going over this herb that I consumed, that helped detox my system. My goal was to do a Daniel fast at a minimum of 7 days and try to go as long as I could. On this particular Daniel fast, I chose to do an alkaline vegan diet based off of the information that you heard in the open video of mucus being the root of all causes for diseases. Mucus, Dr. Sabi figured that out. And with his list of basically singling out specific vegetables, fruits, herbs, grains, nuts, okay, that you can eat that are alkaline and non-acidic, rated on a pH scale of 7 or higher. Alkaline foods that are electric. No disease or parasite can thrive in an environment that is alkaline. It will be purged out. So what this flour does is it causes the mucus in all your cells and your organs in your system to break down, loosen up, and you'll get it out your system by going to the bathroom and throwing up. Now, this is an extremely intense detox cleanser. Okay, FYI. All right. This is the flour that I ordered. It comes from Jamaica. I actually got this off of Amazon from a company called Yaga Lifestyle. Okay. Take it your own risk. It's going to kick your ass. Literally. Okay. Is not to be taken lightly. It lasts at a minimum of 4 hours as far as the effects that you're going to go through. You will be vomiting for 4 hours and go into the bathroom, and the vomiting will be extremely harsh and intense, and you will be throwing up mucus, okay, in your system. Your intestines will be cleansed completely. This is the cleanser, okay, and it's called the duck flour. I can't pronounce the scientific name for it. I'll try it. Aristolochia grandiflora. All right. There it is there. You can also get it, I guess, off of www.yagalifestyle.com. All right. So you can take this. When you get it, you basically soak it for at a minimum an hour. I end up soaking mine for 48 hours. Okay. But you don't have to do that long. Other people have soaked it overnight. You got to rehydrate it, to activate the flour. So I assume that the longer you soak it, the better. This is a flour that comes from the swamps in Jamaica, so it's used to a very moist environment. So it's good to reconstitute it with water, and you want to do it with spring water. Okay. Again, I chose to do this to kick off a Daniel fast, which is one of the best fasts that you can do. Okay, and once you do consume this, I'd advise you to pre-plan, take a couple weeks in advance to pre-plan, do your shopping, to where the only food you consume after taking this flower is alkaline vegan fruits and vegetables. There's a lot of YouTubers that are coming out with alkaline vegan recipes and things that you can cook while on it. Do your research, plan out your meals all 7 days in advance, or however many days you want to do it. Plan it out, and it makes the fast a lot easier. Okay, but once you take it, this will purge your system, and the only thing you want to introduce back into your body is non-mucus creating fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts. Okay, and herbs. All right. I actually made as well. Dr. Sabi came out with a liquid herb bottle that you can take called the Maya Electric. I basically looked up the ingredients that he uses when making that, and I made it into a pill form out of powder. Lord's will through the Spirit, if I can remember, I'll do a lesson video on how to make that as well. And what it is an iron supplement using alkaline herbs, and it's very powerful as well. It'll help give you a lot of energy, non-caffeine type energy, but just healthy, body waking up type energy. Okay, so this flower, like I said, is no joke, man. This is what it looks like when you open it, before you rehydrate it. Once you rehydrate it, it pretty much looks the same, but of course it's just, wet. But what I chose to do with it was take it, again, like I said, I soaked it in spring water 48 hours, and I blended it up. I chose to blend it up with a couple strawberries just to kind of give it a little sweet taste to it, because it's a little bit bitter, and it has a very interesting chemical-y hint to it. And of course this isn't Esau stuff, so it's non-chemical, but it has like a different smell to it, once it's in your system. Okay, I took the flower, and it takes an hour, exactly 1 hour, for the effects to kick in, and it hits you like a train. So once you eat it, you'll feel nothing, and then an hour later, the first hour, vomited 3 times, and then the following hours afterwards, it lasted 4 hours after the first hour after consuming. Okay, so it's a total of 5 hours. But once you consume the first hour, you don't really have any effects. So the 4 hours after the first hour is complete, it was that first hour, I vomited 3 times, man. It was rough. Then I vomited the following hours later. All 3 hours left later, that happened. I went to the bathroom the last hour a few times, and that was it, man. Okay, but my body felt completely drained. So make sure you have a lot of hydration when taking this. Okay, make sure you're very well hydrated before starting, and then while taking it, hydrate the best you can. Anything you try to take water wise, you're not gonna be able to keep it down, but continue to drink water a few times after you are going through the hell for the 4 hours. But you will feel a difference. You do feel completely refreshed, clean, and renewed, after taking this. And the flower itself does supercharge your organs because it has a lot of minerals and vitamins that it puts in your body as well. You can either blend it up like I did, or you can just chew it up and consume it, raw, however you like. Okay. But I want to get into the scriptures that talk about this as well, as far as cleansing your body system and fasting. Okay. Fast. Like I said, I continue to do, I went past 7 days. I think I did a total of 9 on a Daniel fast. The last time I did an alkaline vegan fast, I ended up going for about 60 days. Now, it is very hard to do that, only because you have to make literally everything from scratch. You have to create your own meat. You're vegan. You can only eat specific fruits and vegetables and grain. Like, you can't just have regular rice. You have to have wild rice or quinoa, which is spelled quinoa. But that's it. When it comes to rice, no cheese, no milk. You shouldn't be drinking milk anyway. But you have to have, milk that's based off of creating walnut milk, or I believe hemp seeds is approved. You can make hemp milk, and or Brazil nuts, which you also consume. You can make milk out of that. But that's it, and you have to make it. They don't just sell this stuff in the stores. You can't buy anything that's store bought that has preservatives included into it. On this diet, on this particular vegan Daniel fast, everything you have to make from scratch. So I highly recommend brothers to do it if you've never done it, because you will be amazed at the feeling that you'll have. It's like each meal, it feels like somebody just took a pack of batteries and plugged it into the back of your head or something, and you just get a lot of energy. Your eyes open up, your vision is heightened, your sense of smell is heightened, and your hearing is heightened. Everything is heightened. A lot of body aches and pains seem to kind of lessen up or lighten up on you, so it's good to do a Daniel fast. But the best Daniel fast that you can do is if you go by what Dr. Sebi said do, and you do it. He's got proven methods, and they worked. And it's nothing new. It was done in the ancient world. That's what Daniel did. Okay. So let's get right into it. This is the book of Mark 9:29. And he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing, but by prayer and fasting. Okay, so brothers are really getting into prayer and really getting into fasting and taking care of their temples. Okay, fasting is important. Fasting is what will heal you from the diseases that you're going through. First and foremost, the healing comes from Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. Okay, but Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai goes by the scriptures and gave us instruction on what we need to do to take care of ourselves when our body is ill or we're sick. Okay, so this is the book of 1 Corinthians 3:16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the Spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy, for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. Okay, so you spiritually want to avoid defiling your temple with idolatry and breaking the commandments. Okay, but on a physical note, you don't want to defile your temple as well by doing drugs, smoking, or over excessive drinking to the point to where you're almost dying behind it. Brothers get vexed, so brothers might hit the bottle every once in a while to deal with the captivity that we're in. But if it's becoming extremely unhealthy, you're getting to the point where you're defiling your temple. Okay, you got to take care of your body as your temple. Exercise, fast, diet. Apostle Kabar and Apostle Tahar have been doing a lot of shows talking about the health kicks that they're on, which is inspiring the rest of the body to get on point too with it. Me myself, I've been in at least 2 different martial arts I've been training in, doing walking as well, intermittent fasting. Like I said, I'm going into the testimony of the alkaline vegan diet and taking the herbs, things like that to try to get myself on point, because shit, it's the fan, man. You gotta be able to move. You gotta be able to survive. So you should be able to, get around pretty decently. You should be able to defend yourself. You should have knowledge of what you can and can't eat in the wilderness, and you should be able to not panic and go insane if you can't eat for 2 or 3 days, because that's the reality. So fasting teaches you the discipline to be able to do that. And also, Thursday, August 24th at even, we have the Day of Atonement. And that's coming up. That's right around the corner, man. It's just a couple days from now. So there's no eating or drinking for 24 hours. From even to evening, Day of Atonement. So August 24th through August 25th, you got that. So by participating in that, things like that helps build you in a mindset, helps you develop some self-control of when you're not able to eat, because this American system has enslaved you, to be a gluttonous person, to eating 3 times a day, having to consume a whole lot of meat. Why? Because they make money off of these people consuming the way they do. All the taxes that they put on these food items, the government makes a lot of money, and so they create all these holidays too that encourage that. But really, it's just destroying your health. You should only really be eating meat, maybe once. I'd probably say maybe once or twice a week. It should not be a every nightly thing that you have some meat with your every meal. That's not how it was in the ancient world, man. People didn't have freezers and refrigerators to just have all this excessive meat to eat with every meal back then. If they had something, it was a fresh kill. It had to be eaten quickly, to prevent from it being rotten and going bad. And the things that would be left over, they had to preserve it by smoking it, into jerky and things like that. So when they ate something, they ate it fresh, if it was meat, and they consumed it quickly. But everything else inside the wheat was through eating fruits and vegetables, farming. Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 38:4. It says, Yahweh have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them, meaning will not ignore them. Okay. Medicines don't ignore, or don't simply don't walk around and have no care about researching the herbs and fruits and vegetables. If you're not eating vegetables, you didn't grow up eating vegetables, then you better start, man. It's good for your temple. Take care of your temple. With the Lord, if there's something wrong, does go with you. The medicines are found in the earth, which hence the duck flower cleanses your system out. To alkaline your body. This is the book of Revelation 22, verse 2. It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on the either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Right. So the leaves are for the healing of the nations. Now this is a metaphor. It's talking about Israelites mainly within the scripture. But nonetheless, the metaphor and the example used, if you look at a physical or literal standpoint, the leaves on trees, there's all types of trees that you can use for medicine. For example, if you have a lot of pain, you can use the leaves from the white willow bark and the bark itself, from the white willow tree. That's, nature's Tylenol. They actually use that plant or use that tree, the properties of it, to create the medicine Tylenol. Well, it's not really medicine, but, that's just one example. Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel 47:12. It says, and by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade. Okay, now if you go into the woods and you start researching mushrooms, one thing that you'll find growing on trees, which is a very edible mushroom, is called chicken of the woods. And they call it like that because it literally tastes like chicken. Okay. But it says, shall grow all trees for meat. So yeah, like example, there's other wood mushrooms grow on trees that you can consume. And typically at the base of trees, you'll find other mushrooms, such as the morel mushroom, that you can consume. Okay? It says, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because of the waters they issued out the sanctuary. And the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. So fruits, fruits grow from trees. And there's certain fruits that you could eat as well that taste a lot like meat. Jackfruit, that's grown from trees. And a lot of people use that in different vegan recipes for, like, vegan pulled beef or pulled chicken. They'll make that. A lot of other people say pulled pork, but we don't eat pork. That's not lawful according to the scriptures. But jackfruit, yeah, you can make a lot of those dishes, man, and it'll taste just like meat almost. And I made on this alkaline vegan diet. I took some oyster mushrooms, seasoned them up real good like I would a steak, and put them on a skillet, and took another heavy cast iron skillet and set it on top to kind of press the mushrooms down. And I just let it cook, a little slowly on that skillet, man. Hey, that thing tasted exactly like a steak, man. It was insane. And that's oyster mushrooms. But it's amazing, the things that Yahweh Shai have provided for us. This is the book of Daniel 1:12. It says, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this manner and proved them 10 days. So Daniel did a 10-day fast. And it says, and at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat a portion of the king's meat. Right. The people of the king's meat was declared to be swine. And they refused, because that's not lawful to eat. But after just 10 days, they looked way better than all the people in the kingdom that were eating that meat and eating it a lot, working out with it and going about their daily lives. But those that followed the Lord, they appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat a portion of the king's meat, the scripture just said. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on that, man. Just getting into it, meditating on things like this. We really gotta be ready and get prepared, man. Because time's about to get extremely tough, and they're not gonna be easy, man. So do what you can to make certain investments in the right way, and I'll probably advise try to get a few portions of food stocked up in case they do shut this thing down. Make some type of preparations, but the scriptures say, hey, when it's time to go, don't look back. Don't take anything out of your house. Just dip. It might be something similar this time as well. So just be ready for it. So with that, Lord's will, the flesh was edifying. I'm going to close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles, elders, great no stone, taught truth and will well. It's artistic hope, like Christian's truth, no sincerity. Shalom.